Right now in First News at 5 video, you'll only see here a man under arrest makes a dash for freedom after being arrested during a domestic dispute. Plus, a woman becomes a victim of sexual assault after picking up a hitchhiker in Arcola. More on her escape and what you need to know before you turn on your furnace to make sure everything is running efficiently. ABC News Channel 15, First News at 5 starts now.
All we knew is that there was a person left in the apartment, that there was a small child in the apartment with them, and we needed to make sure that the small child was safe.
Tense moments today after Champaign police respond to reports of a domestic situation. 2 men are arrested tonight after what police call a hostage situation. I'm Elisa Bizio. Champaign police received word around noon today that a woman was being threatened in an apartment in the 2500 block of West Springfield. She was able to get out, but the men locked themselves inside with her baby. The police then treated the situation like a hostage situation and tried to negotiate with the men. ABC News Channel 15's Adam Reif was first on the scene today. And Adam, how exactly did everything unfold?
Elisa, there's a lot of moving parts to this story, including the young child, possible domestic violence, and a suspect who ran from police. Officers tell us the good news is the suspects are in custody and the child is now safe. A child pulled from harm's way after a tense situation Tuesday at a Champaign apartment complex. Champaign police officers got a call around noon after a woman reported her baby was in danger.
There was an altercation, disagreement, domestic situation that occurred in this apartment. One of the people in the apartment left. That's when police were called. We arrived at the apartment, and then contact was made with people inside.
Police say 2 people in the apartment were dating. They got into a fight and the woman left. Her young child, however, was still being held in the apartment by 2 men.
And all we knew is that there was a person left in the apartment, that there was a small child in the apartment with them, and we needed to make sure that the small child was safe. So initially, officers showed up, made sure everything was surrounded.
Police didn't know if they were armed, but took precautions in case they were. The men finally agreed to surrender to police and gave the child to a waiting detective. But then one of the handcuffed suspects made a run for it. It was a sorry escape attempt. He was quickly tackled, and one officer suffered what police are calling a minor injury.
I'm not sure of the extent of any injuries to any officers. I think there's one that may be treated for what appears right now to be a minor injury. So right now, no good information, but we think that if there is an injury, it looks like a minor injury.
Police have not yet identified the 2 suspects that were taken into custody. They would also not yet comment on whether any firearms or other weapons were found in the apartment. Live in the studio, Adam Reif, ABC News Channel 15.
All right, thanks, Adam. No charges have been filed. Police say they're still conducting their investigation. A woman is home tonight that is recovering after getting beat up and sexually assaulted by a hitchhiker. It happened off a rural road near Arcola. ABC News Channel 15's Heather Good is in the newsroom. Heather.
Yeah, Elisa, a Mattoon woman is lucky to be alive and at home tonight after a sexual assault left her face battered and neck cut. According to police, the attack happened on a rural road somewhere between Mattoon and Arcola. The victim, who had just moved to the area, picked up a hitchhiker. The man sat in the back seat where he later strangled the victim with a rope, ordering her to pull over. The man then forced the woman between 2 grain bins where he sexually assaulted her, beat her face, and slit her throat with a box cutter. The suspect fled on foot, and the victim drove to a Casey's General Store where the clerk called for help.
If you do see someone out and about, especially the farmers of the area, they're out in the fields right now. We've checked in with them as they go to their bin sites. Maybe take a minute to look around, and if they see something laying around, call.
Again, police do not know exactly where the assault took place. The victim was not familiar with the area. Here is the description of the suspect. Police say he introduced himself to the victim as Charlie. The white male in his late 40s or early 50s had salt and pepper long hair and mustache with a skinny build and tattoo on his forearm. He also had a mole between his eyes and nose. Police ask that you contact them with any information you have on this case. Live in the newsroom, Heather Good, ABC News Channel 15.
Thanks, Heather. Authorities say this is an isolated incident and they're working with surrounding counties to find the suspect. Coming up tonight at 6 o'clock, a community is reacting to the news of a scam targeting the area's most generous. A man claiming to be a disabled veteran with an ill child is being charged for felony theft after targeting churches, scamming them out of money, gas, and even a car. What the people of Charleston say they hope happens next. Well, today is the first day for Medicare open enrollment, and the Champaign County healthcare consumers answered questions about that program. Today they hosted an event to help seniors deal with Medicare and to understand how it's affected by the Affordable Care Act. Medicare open enrollment runs through December 7th. It's the only time people can change their current prescription and supplement insurance plans.
We're going to do our best to make sure that we eliminate some of the confusion and complexities of this time of the year in particular, since it does coincide and overlap with the Medicare open enrollment and the health insurance marketplace open enrollment period.
Yeah, and if you missed today's sessions, more will be hosted later this month, and even in November. We've posted information on our website. Head to WICD15.com and click on Web Watch.
Well, something we haven't seen at least in a little while, and that was some precipitation. This is what we're looking at now in the Sullivan Park Hill Tower cams. That haze out there is some light to moderate drizzle. As we check out ESP Live and the local Doppler, well, we're seeing most of the heaviest precipitation, if you want to call that heavy, out across the state line, but even then it's fairly faint. And in our area, certainly not seeing any returns on the radar, but we are seeing at least some light to moderate drizzle across much of the area. 64 degrees currently at Willard with a 13-mile-an-hour breeze. In Danville, rain there, some drizzle, 15-mile-an-hour breezes. Yeah, it's a bit breezy out there. 62 degrees the current temperature. Tomorrow, a much cooler day with 60 degrees for a high. That's a big change. We'll tell you more about it with the Storm Team 15 forecast coming up. Yelitza, back to you.
Thanks, Doug. And with that cooler weather moving in, it is almost time to turn on the furnace, but there are a few things you should do before you turn up the heat. Experts recommend getting furnaces cleaned and making sure everything is operating up to standards. They say by doing so, it'll make the unit run more efficiently. A majority of the furnace problems Lands Heating and Air sees is due to lack of maintenance.
The main thing that the homeowner can do to keep the furnace functioning correctly throughout the winter is to keep the filter clean. When a filter gets plugged, it causes the furnace to overheat and leads to other issues.
They do also stress the importance of having a carbon monoxide detector in every home to keep residents safe, because it's something you can't smell, see, or taste, and it does need to be monitored. A Unit 4 school district wants you to know exactly where your taxpayer dollars are going. The committee Promises Made, Promises Kept is showing the public just how the county-wide 1% sales tax is being used in the district. The district released this video, this 8-minute video, to show how they're renovating facilities and building new schools. School officials say they are pleased with the results.
Create a plan of how we were going to use the community's money. And we've been able to follow that, and we've been able to show that through the Promises Made, Promises Kept committee. And we've been very pleased with how the whole process has been able to translate into new facilities for our students.
School officials say more videos highlighting the progress will be released. This is just the first of 6-part series. And coming up, are lawmakers a step closer to reaching a deal to reopen the government? The legislation they could be voting on tonight. And your taxes are due even though the IRS is closed due to the shutdown. When you can expect to get a refund check. Those stories and more coming up next on ABC News Channel 15. The clock continues to tick down as the government gets closer and closer to reaching its credit limit. Bipartisan negotiations continue in the Senate as House Republicans unveiled their own proposal today that would reopen the government extend the debt ceiling. ABC's Karen Travers has the latest from Washington.
Morning, buddy. After a flurry of activity this morning, things settled down on Capitol Hill.
We're working with our members on our way forward.
We've been engaged in productive bipartisan negotiations in the Senate.
Backroom meetings, closed-door negotiations, and now it looks like the House and Senate are heading down very different paths. The Senate's still working on a bipartisan deal that would reopen the government, but only until January 15th, avoid a default by extending the nation's credit limit, but only until February 7th. And here's the key: no major changes to the health care law. But House Republicans have developed an alternative plan. It would raise the debt ceiling through February 7th, but only fund the government through December 15th. And it would eliminate health care subsidies for members of Congress and their staff.
We're disappointed that the House Republicans decided to sabotage or at least delay what was happening there.
Today, President Obama sent a familiar message to Congress.
Let's not do any posturing. Let's not try to save face. Let's not worry about politics. Do what's right.
The markets were down all day as it appeared a deal was not imminent. The Senate is now in a holding pattern. Leaders were waiting on House Republicans to make their move. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
And we're taking a nationwide survey with all our Sinclair sister stations, and we'd like to know what you think. Here's the question. Would you like to fire your members of Congress because of the government gridlock? Just head to our Facebook page and let us know what you think. The survey runs through Thursday. Then we'll give you the results. Affirmative action and college admissions are back before the Supreme Court today. The High Court is considering a case from Michigan challenging the state's voter-approved ban on using racial and gender preferences in deciding who gets into college. Just a few months ago, the court ruled the University of Texas could continue using racial criteria in admissions, but justices made it much harder for institutions to justify affirmative action policies. And back here locally, Doug, that weather is taking a major turn on us, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly has. We're not only seeing some rain and some drizzle and perhaps even some fog across much of the area, but now we're looking right square in the face of some much cooler air that'll eventually move into the area over the next couple of days. We'll check it all out for you. Storm Team 15 is next. We hope for most of the weekend, Friday and Saturday, around 60 degrees. We'll see another chance of showers perhaps late Sunday. That is very, very iffy, but we will see temperatures drop once again. Behind yet another disturbance, that's that cold front that we're watching out to the northwest, and it could drop our daytime highs a few more degrees back down into the 50s by Sunday and Monday.
Okay, but it is fall, and
it is fall. We have to expect that at this time of year.
We do. And speaking of fall, we have our first winner in the Haunted House ticket giveaway.
And a big congratulations goes out to Brian Lundquist from Homer.
All right, the Hunt at Bone Sawmill. Ooh, how spooky. Kicks off this Friday, and we'll be there. We're giving you a chance to go for free. Just watch sunrise in the morning between 6:30 and 7 for a chance to win 4 free tickets to the Hunt. It's taking place at the Fluid Events Center in Champaign.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, and still to come, despite the government being closed, your taxes are still due today when you can expect that refund check.
It's what you don't see that matters most. If you're experiencing the symptoms of a settling foundation, turn to the company that invented the foundation repair industry. Call Helitech to schedule a free inspection.
Car companies like to talk about topping each other. Well, today Dodge is delivering some of the most innovative vehicles on the road. From the iconic and powerful, to the versatile, and award-winning, to the groundbreaking. Topping the competition, that's one thing. Constantly topping yourself, that's Dodge. Now, well-qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2013 Dodge Journey SXT for $239 a month.
Save big money during the Menard Day sale. Right now, all GE major kitchen appliances are 10% off. This 18.2 cubic foot top freezer refrigerator has adjustable spill-resistant glass shelves and gallon door storage, just $499. Keep cool with ceiling fans from turn of the century. The Tisbury features quick connect blades for easy assembly, only $59. The Chandra with brushed nickel or oil-rubbed bronze finish and LED kit is just $99.
Save big money at Menards.
It's what you don't see that matters most. If you're experiencing the symptoms of a settling foundation, turn to the company that invented the foundation repair industry. Call Helitech to schedule a free inspection.
Every day, small business owners are using tools like email and social media marketing from Constant Contact to grow their business. They're getting customers coming back, fans following their business online, and new customers through the door. See how Constant Contact's products and people can help you grow your business. Start your free trial at ConstantContact.com.
The government shutdown is keeping most IRS workers at home, but that doesn't mean you're off the hook for your taxes. The agency says today's deadline for filing your taxes, if you requested a 6-month extension in April, still stands. But here's the twist. The IRS says it will not issue any refunds until normal government operations resume. The agency also won't have any workers to take calls or help taxpayers in person. More than 90% of IRS staff is on a government-wide furlough due to the federal shutdown. Netflix, the popular online video service, could soon be available through your cable box. The Wall Street Journal reports the company is in talks with several U.S. cable providers, including Comcast, to offer its service through an app on their set-top boxes. Currently, customers who want to stream Netflix on their TVs must either have a TV with an internet connection or connect their TVs to an internet-connected device. This deal would be the first of its kind with the U.S. cable provider. It appears Americans are drinking less orange juice. According to reports, OJ consumption is down to a 15-year low. They cite a report from the Florida Department of Citrus. High prices are partially to blame. A gallon of OJ will run you about $6 today compared to a little over $4 10 years ago. People are also trading in orange juice for more exotic fruit juices like pomegranate and energy drinks. And up next, Doug Quick will be back with a final check of your forecast. Stay with us.
Welcome back. Well, we're seeing some drizzle and some light rain across much of the area. Here's pretty much the story over the last 3 hours. Most of that precipitation is now moved off to the east, but drizzle doesn't show up well on the radar, and that's what we're seeing now. Drizzle and perhaps even some fog as well. Mostly cloudy skies expected tomorrow, or partly sunny, whichever way you look at it. 60 degrees.
Partly sunny, please.
Partly sunny. There you go. 58, maybe a chance of a few showers on Thursday. So far, weekend, not looking all that bad. Sunday is a bit iffy. There's another chance of some showers then and a little bit of a cool down. Denver Lloyd Community College Diversity Team is sponsoring their 7th annual Hispanic Latino Fair. That's Saturday afternoon at the Bremer Conference Center at DAC, 443-8833. And for the latest weather, go to WICD15.com. And
we'll see you at 6 o'clock.
There you go.